Welcome to Cardigan Bay Fishing Adventures. My name is David Barber. I'm working on the boat, and as you can see we're inside this makeshift tent. It's flipping cold. I'll get the thermostat now. I'll explain all of this, but if you look on there, hopefully this is not flipped. It's saying 5 degrees. The night heater's running in the background, I don't know if you can hear it. It's going to take a while for these temperatures to get up. So while I'm waiting for it to heat up, I thought I'd just show you what I've been up to. I've started doing some close-cell foam in the stringer system. Very controversial, lots of people say don't use foam, some people say use play pit balls and so on. Another issue you may have picked up already, the sound quality is pretty poor. I'm using the sound from inside the GoPro. I actually broke the microphones. When I put this cover on, I knocked the camera over and it smashed my receiver. I'm not in a position to buy more camera equipment and stuff. I just can't do it. I'm spending too much on the boat. For me to spend money on microphones, I'm going to put the boat build back again, and I just can't do it. I'm hoping this doesn't sound too bad and we can cope with this for a short while until I can get a new receiver. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and I'll show you the boat, what we've been up to. So I'm hoping the sound from behind the camera isn't too bad as well. So first of all, I'll show you this meter. This meter records all different things to do with CO2 formaldehyde. I'm not sure what HCHO is. TVOC, I think that might be formaldehyde. Humidity is really high at the moment, which is not good. I need that to drop with the heat. We're at 5 degrees. We've also got a CO meter, carbon monoxide, as you can see right here, just in case the heat is coming through that pipe right there. So obviously we've got safety measures in place so I can keep track of the air quality and if there's any carbon monoxide in here, because it'd be very dangerous. As you can see, I'm fully sealed in. Well, I'll say fully sealed. There is a gap underneath the boat, but we are pretty much fully sealed in. So yeah, air does travel under the boat and out and in. Anyway, this is polyurethane close-cell foam. So that's what I've been doing, getting foam in these sections. I'll show you how I've been doing it, as you can see there, and we'll just talk through it all. I'm keeping track of the weights I've put in because I want to match the weight either side so it's balanced. There's a reason for that and I'll explain it now. So up the port side, I'm filling all the cavities up all around there, and I'm doing the same down the starboard side all the way back to here. The thought process behind that, if the boat was to get a hole in it anywhere in these middle sections, this middle section will fill with water. That gives me a low centre of gravity and it keeps the boat upright, and this buoyancy will help a little bit with the listing and hopefully keep me upright to get me back to shore in an emergency. Like I said, I've put the weights on there very much. I've put in each section, and I'm doing the same down this side, just so the buoyancy matches, so we not end up listing at some point. All I'm waiting for now is the boat to warm up and I can start doing this foam again. I have to get on with some other jobs while I'm waiting, because it's going to take a good hour probably, maybe a bit more. These need hoovering out. I need to acetone it all. I also need to give it a bit of a sand as well, just to give a bit of a key for the foam so the foam's got something to grip to. This is the foam I'm using. You can see it there. I got it from East Coast Fiberglass. I don't want to touch them tins and move them about without gloves on, because we've got some of it on the top. Under here, I foamed it the other day, put the board on it, and I'm going to pull that board off now. I know there's lots of talking in this video, but I'm just waiting for the boat to warm up. There's not a lot I can do. The reason I'm using melamine board like that, I'm pouring the foam in, cover it with melamine, weight it down, leave some expansion gaps so the foam can expand out if it needs to. The reason I'm doing it, at the back here, I've got to drill holes in the deck and put it in through the top. You can't see if it fully fills the cavity. Like this, if there's any bad parts that are really not filled at all, I can fix that. This is the reason I've done it like this. I've used melamine and I waxed it. I use this. It's a mold release wax. So I've waxed the surface of the board, put it down, and the foam does not stick to it, and it gives it a nice shiny sealed surface. The controversy behind this stuff, people say it absorbs water like crazy. There will be condensation under the deck, and that will happen. You will probably get some moisture in it. People say it's going to rot out all your stringers and everything. This is fully fiberglass. It can never rot. The deck will rot eventually, there's no question in that. Doesn't matter how well you seal it, it is going to rot at some point, and you will have to replace it. That is just the way it is. I would rather have foam in the boat with the chance of it getting soaked and sodden than not have it, and potentially have a major disaster where the boat starts to fill up and then it starts to list. This foam will definitely help. It's not going to be a hindrance, is it? So that's why I prefer to have it. People do say use play pit balls, blah 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 blah, and all that sort of stuff. I don't see the MCA and any boat builders putting play pit balls in all the boats. They're using this stuff, which is the proper stuff. It's polyurethane closed cell foam. It's 2-part foam. This is what is used in boats. Maybe it's not the best product to use, but what else can you use that's not going to absorb water? Play pit balls don't absorb water, but with heat and cold they contract and the ball's sinking. So yeah, that's enough of me waffling. I'm not sure what temperature we're at now, but it is going to start lifting. Yeah, you can see we're at 7 degrees now, so it does lift pretty quick. The temperature does go up pretty quick. That 90 heater works. It's a 8 kilowatt Chinese diesel heater. So let this boat get up to temperature. We need somewhere between 15 and 20 degrees before we can start doing more foam. So what I'm going to do is get on with these, clean these out, sand them, hoover them, acetone them, get it all nice, clean and ready. I'm going to get these 3 sections here done, and we're maybe going to do a little bit more around there. I did do some part pours up the front. So a part pour is I'll pour a little bit in, let it expand, and pour a little bit more in and let that expand, rather than doing it in one hit and wasting product. I don't want to waste it. I think it was £67 something for both of those tins, so I don't want to waste it. Anyway, get you back on the stand, and hopefully filming will be alright with this lighting and stuff. I got up here pretty early today. It was just before 7:30. You can see the time there on the radio. And then another thing, at the back of the boat I've done a makeshift workbench so I can mix all my resins, my foams, do everything basically, so I don't have to get out of the boat. I can just keep working. So once all this foaming's done, well, basically these sections, once these 3 are done and that one's done, it's technically ready for the deck to go down, which is good news. So what I'm going to try and do, now we've got this new setup with this makeshift tent, I'll have to try and put the camera in position to where you can see what I'm doing. So first of all, we're going to pull this board off this foam, and we're going to see what's happened. I will try and get you low enough and close enough. I'm standing a little bit further away now just to test the sound, just to see how bad or how good it is. If the sound quality is not too bad, then I probably won't get mics for a while. Once I start fishing on the boat, I will have to have microphones. The camera's going to be over here somewhere and I'm going to be over there fishing. The sound quality will be just too poor. Right, let's crack on and wait for this boat to warm up and we can start doing some proper work. So what I've done is just put a bit of weight down on this section. I was going to pull it off last time, but I ended up leaving. It's quite a slow process doing it this way. If I had the deck down drilled holes, I could just mix everything up and keep pouring and pouring and pouring. Doing it this way is massively slow. It is not a quick way of doing it at all. But this way, if there's any voids missed or anything, I can address it. I don't know how well this is going to come off. As you can see, I'll try and show you. It's stuck. So I never left one. I never left any of the others for this long. Yes, I'm using a square and it's bent. It's a broken square. It's very broken now. There we go. And that worked like a treat. I do think some of it is a little bit high, but you can see we've got nothing stuck to here because I've been using wax. Yeah, and it's pretty tough stuff. It's quite hard. What you don't want to do is push your finger into it, because when this finishes itself off, it skins itself. if you poured water on this right now, it would just bead off. If you poke a hole in it or damage it, water can absorb into it, because then it's not closed cell. There's a potential I will be fiberglassing over this. I'm not 100% yet, but sand this surface back and put a sheet of fiberglass over one layer of CSM just to completely seal it. I'm not sure what to do yet, I might do that. What I'm going to do now, while we're waiting for the temperature to get up, I'm going to start getting these sections ready. So we're going to sand them all, clean them all, acetone them all, and just get it ready to do the foam. I've got a feeling we're going to have to skim a little bit off these, because it's a little bit high here. This foam is flipping strong. If you had a deck screwed down and put this in sealed, it would literally pop your deck. It won't stop expanding. Once it starts, that's it. If you don't give it somewhere to escape, it'll literally bow panels and damage stuff. So that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be sure that it had come out somewhere. So you can see we've got a gap here, and it's obviously come out up here a little bit, as you can see. But yeah, that is perfect. There's a little tiny part there. That's not a problem at all. The main part of that is sealed. The other bonus to this is it's going to add stiffness to the hull and strength. Obviously we've got a key up running down here. That's a very sharp point. You hit something hard with that, it's going to crack. And this will stop you filling up with water. So anyway, let's get on with the next sections, get them cleaned up and start getting it ready for the foam. So as you can see, I'm just sanding inside these sections. Nothing major, just a quick scuff up, just like a bit of the shine off. The foam will adhere to that fine. This is flow coat from before when I finished the stringer system to seal the glass. I've had to buy a new hoover. Cheap one, cheap Titan. It actually does the job. It's about 30 something quid. The other hoover packed up. I was in the middle of using it and the motor blew up. It might be the damp in the air in here, I'm not really sure. So yeah, this boat restoration's killing me for things breaking and packing up. New hoover, need new mics, literally new everything. But I'm going to hoover out all this dust, get rid of it all. This is obviously a bit noisy. And then yeah, we'll get it acetoned up and start getting ready. The temperature, give me 1 second. The temperature is now up to 12 degrees. We're at 8:15, so it's getting up to where we need it, between 15 and 20. I have got the thermostat thing set quite high. If I set it low, it's a lot warmer. So I want to get the air temperature in here up. Lower down is probably 15, 16 degrees. When I crouch down like this, I can feel the heat difference to when I stand up. Anyway, let's get this hoovered out. So what I'm about to do now is acetone these sections. I'm not going to video acetoning it because it's just literally a bit of chemical and wipe it. What I want you to see is this meter. If you look at the numbers it's on now, I will put you closer. As soon as I start to use the acetone, you watch those numbers scream up. I'll leave it up here. I'll set the camera a little bit closer and I'll start to acetone. You'll know when it's open and I'm using it because these numbers will fly up. I do have to wear a mask. I cannot stand in here without a mask and talk on camera. It's not worth the risk to my health. So keep an eye on that. So I can take my mask off now, the chemicals have dropped in here. I did have to vent it a little bit to be honest, it wasn't clearing, but it's clear now, I can't smell anything. What I'm going to do is wax this board, give it a coat of wax just to top it up, There probably is still wax on here, but I need to make sure. I know you can't see me, but get a nice coat of release wax on here. Let it dry for a while and then we'll buff it. I am sorry if this sound quality is poor from this distance. I ain't gonna have a clue till I get home and start editing. I'm about to fill this section. We did put 600 grams that side, so that's 300 of part 1 and 300 of part 2. I've done it by weight because I just find it's easier to mix that way and it's more accurate. So we're about to do this. This has been sanded, it's been hoovered out, and it's also been acetoned. You would have seen that numbers rising, screaming over 3,000. Over 3,000, you shouldn't be breathing that in, that's bad. With this mask on, I couldn't smell a thing, so it's doing its job. Anyway, I'm going to get up to the back now, and I'm going to start mixing up the foam. I'm hoping it's warm enough. What I'm going to do is get my heat gun. I've got like a paint stripping gun, and I'm going to warm this cavity up just to get a bit of heat into the fiberglass. So I'm hoping that will help the foam rise. If it's too cold, the foam won't rise the same, so you end up using more product than you need to. I'm getting up to around 15, 16 degrees-ish now, so I'm getting close to it being warm enough. So yeah, give this a blast of hot air, and then I'll start mixing up the foam and get it in. This sends the lights funny, it may flicker, so if you've got epilepsy or anything like that, maybe don't watch this part. So I'm going to start mixing this foam up. What I'm going to do is get part 1 poured in, get 300 grams in there of part 1, double check all the temperatures, and then we'll get part 2 in there. You've got about 20 seconds, so you have to mix it pretty quickly, and we'll get it straight poured in, and then the reaction will start. I don't have long to mess about. I'll try and do one of them with my mask off, just so I can talk you through it, and then after that I'll have to keep my mask on. Part 1 is pretty clear, as you will see now. I want 300 grams. Gone over by a little bit. It's not ideal, but... So we've got part 2. I'm not going to zero the scale, I'm going to pour it up to 600. This stuff's a lot darker. Once this goes in now, that's it, we don't have time to mess about. I'm going to go a little bit over, just purely because I did too much in the other one. There we go. I've gone a little bit over on that one as well. Believe it or not, the reaction's already starting. You can see the colour of it hopefully. Just give it a quick mix. I'll have to mix with one hand, spin the camera around with the other. Yeah, this seems thicker than the other day, which is not ideal. I think it might be a bit too cold in here, but... Just let me stick. So, all I did before was pour it into the centre and let it split itself across the sections equally. You never know, it might be too cold for the reaction, but it is what it is. I've got to try and get on with it. Yeah, this reaction's way slower than before. It might actually be too cold in here. I'm hoping it's not, because it's going to be a nightmare to get rid of that if I've just messed it up. The foam was kept at home before, so it was warm when I brought it up here. This foam's actually cooled down, so it looks like it's a slower reaction. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to blow the heat gun on it to see if it helps the reaction, because that's not reacting like it's meant to. to get the board on that because this part's getting too high now. Get some weight on it. But that gives you an idea of the weight mixed and the weight put in. We've got 16 degrees on the thermometer now. We need to get a lot more temperature in the boat and the product. Yeah, I'm hoping this is set now. It's been around half an hour. I felt the foam at the back and it's no longer sticky. So we're about to find out if it's done what it's meant to. As you can see, it still sticks pretty well. Yeah. It's not gone properly in the centre, look. So I'll have to add a little bit more in the centre there. That's not the end of the world, that's the whole point of doing it without the deck down. You'd never know that's what it's done and left quite a big cavity here. The only issue is in my head, I've mixed up the same amount for both sides, but now this side's going to have a little bit more. There's not really a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. So I am thinking of stopping for today, to be honest. So yeah, as you can see, I've brought you a bit closer. We've got a cavity in the centre here. I'm thinking of stopping for today, to be honest, because the product's not warm enough. I need to take it home, get it warmed up to room temperature, come back up and then hit it again. I'm going to end up using more foam than I want to, and I'm not rushing it, because if I rush it, it's going to cost me more money. So you can see how this is risen compared to this. That's not fully risen properly there in the middle. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it for today. It's Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day tomorrow. There's lots of stuff to do. I think I'm working as well tomorrow. I'm waiting for a last minute answer to say I am or not working. So I might get a message at 4 PM saying you're in work. It is what it is. Obviously there's a possibility I can have it off and spend it with the wife and kids, which is ideal, but I might not be able to. That's the fun of being a HGV driver. So I'm going to say Merry Christmas and wish you all a Happy New Year, and I will more than likely see you in 2026. I don't think there'll be another video out this year, unfortunately. I'm working potentially 4 days from Christmas onwards, then you've got the little gap in between New Year, so this is more than likely my last video for 2025. I want to say thank you for all the support through the year. Sorry for the lack of uploads. This boat will be done next year and we will be out fishing and we'll be back to normal videos, and I cannot wait. Also live streams. I've also joined Twitch, which is something new I'm going to try once I'm back on the water. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in 2026. Merry Christmas to you all and Happy New Year.